Jan.
Yep. Okay. So then I'm going to share it with each of you. All right, Annie, you've got it. And Bill, you've got it now too. And feel free to comment or whatever. And now I'm going to start the recording. Whoops.
Smart.
That's not what I meant to do. Where's the record button? There it is. Record to this computer. Hallelujah. I remembered all by myself.
My job away from
There. So, welcome to Any Sunday Songwriters. We're so delighted to see y'all. I'm going to do my romper room lady imitation. Hi to Pamela and Stu and Carl and David and Jennifer. Shouldn't I have a little magnifying glass or something like that? Anyway, my guests today are Bill Edwards, who resides in Ann Arbor. Why did that name slip away? That's one of my favorite places when I was growing up. Anyway, so we are delighted to have him here. I met him on a song salon that people from Farm and elsewhere in the Midwest, Farm being Folk Alliance Region Midwest. Isn't that clever? And my other esteemed guest today is Annie Benjamin, who used to live here in Texas, in Dallas, and now she lives in Albuquerque, where it snowed today,
briefly.
if you can imagine such a thing. So hello to Annie, hello to Bill. I'm delighted to have you here. This is going to be a fun show. So you're all glad you're here. Check in the chat because there's a whole nother world going on in there. And not to mention there's a tip jar in the chat. So there, you would be delighted to find yourself in the chat too, as much as in the show. And we're going to get started. So, Bill, would you like to kick us off?
I will kick us off, yeah. Thanks for having me, Jan. This is fun. A little later on, I'm going to play the song I played in that song salon with the changes that you suggested might help. So I hope you'll like it. But right now, I'm going to play this song. This is a song I wrote. I was invited to play at the historic train depot in Chelsea, Michigan, and realized I didn't really have a train song. So I thought, well, I better write one. So here's what I came up with. It's called Far and Wide. I creep into the rail yard, middle of the night, when the weather's mild and dry, when the moon is right. My nose is on the lookout for Swisher Sweet cigars. The guard loves his Swisher Sweets. He don't love my art. I boxcar sides, Burlington Northern and Santa Fe. I show far and wide. Montana gold is good spray paint. That's all you'll find in my bag. I work in contrast and color. I don't just tag. And I got a shelf full of art books from secondhand sales. Maybe one day they'll know me as the Rembrandt of the rails. For I am a painter. I do mostly boxcar sides, Union Pacific and Chesapeake. I show far and wide. And I'd like to think of a kid in a minivan out in Kansas or out in Illinois, spying something on the side of a train with a little spark of joy. For I am a painter. I do mostly boxcar sides, Burlington Northern and Santa Fe. I show far and wide. Yes, I am a painter, and I show far and wide.
That was great. So, Annie, what you got for us?
I have a train song too.
Do you?
Great segue. It was kind of like you. I had to write a train song because, you know, when you play acoustic guitar, everybody thinks you have train songs and you don't always. So I decided, well, I'm going to write one. And so I wrote one about the Underground Railroad. This is called Glory. And this actually came out on my first album, which I put out in 2000. So I'm glad you kind of triggered that memory because I really like this song. It's one of my favorites I've written. I apologize, the temperature changed, so we're going to try to stay in tune here. There's a train they call Glory. I can hear it rolling down the tracks tonight. And it's going to a place they call holy. I'll be jumping aboard that train come morning lights. It follows the Jordan River, then goes out on its own. It runs on faith and the promise of love, and then winds its way back home. There's a bend in the river. Summer's grass is high. The farmer eats the fruits of labor, and the white soul contemplates the sky. Follow the Jordan River, then go out on your own. Believe in faith and the promise of love, and then you find a place called home. dreams and fitful sleep. Oh, just waiting for a sign. Sitting still on the back porch until that old engine it come rolling down the line. There's a train they call Glory. I can hear it rolling down the tracks tonight. And it's going to a place they call Holy, Holy. I'll be jumping for that train come morning light. Just follow the Jordan River, then go out on your own. Believe in faith and the promise of love, and then you find a way back. Whoa, whoa, oh, you're gonna find a way. You're gonna find a way. Oh, you're gonna find a place called home. Yay.
That was just gorgeous.
Thank you. Good
I
train
love
song.
both your train songs. Um, I would like to point your eyes in the direction of Rick Herndon, who has just joined us. um, Rick has a talent for putting up backgrounds to go with your songs, which is really fun. So we're glad he's here. Hi, Rick. I have a funny story about a street being named Easy Street, but I'll tell it later because I don't have a train song, so I'm going to sing you a car song. And the deal was I was driving from, oh my goodness, I can't remember the name of it. It's in Colorado on the west side, and I think it's Junction. I was driving from Junction to Salt Lake City, and everybody that I was going to see in Salt Lake City told me, don't take the main highway, the interstate, all the way to the other main highway that goes to Salt Lake. You can go up over the mountain, and it cuts about an hour off the trip. Well, when I got to the mountain, there was a storm going on up there, and I didn't think that would be real wise. And it was going to be night before I finished, and then I'd be driving at night in a storm over a mountain, and that didn't seem smart at all. So I stayed on 70 and was grateful because some of the most beautiful scenery I've ever seen was going on 70. And at one point, I finally relented and got off the highway and tried to take a picture to bring to Andy at home because he didn't get to come with me. And I stood up in the overlook with my little camera, my phone, like this, and I looked at the scenery and I looked at my camera and I went, he's never going to get it from this. So I wrote him a song instead. This is me driving along the highway in the car. And that's the scenery. Let me take you west and fill your eyes with beauty. I could show you pictures, but they'd just be small and puny, and you would not feel satisfied. No, you would not feel blessed like if you saw it with your own eyes. So let me take you west. Let me take you west to timeless earthly majesty in ever-changing robes and jewels left here by the sea. 'Cause you will hear me speak of it, and I will seem obsessed. So there is only one solution. Let me take you west. Let me take you west amid the brooding silent canyons and the shouts of pointed rocky spires, reaching for the heavens. Spend a day or spend a lifetime, whatever you suggest. Let me show you how I love you. Let me take you west. Imagine this at sunset. Let me take you west. Thank you. And we'll just keep going round and round like that until our time is up. So, welcome to everyone.
Let's see. I'm trying to decide. I think I'll do this. Since Jen didn't have a train song, I'll do my other train song. This is on the record I just put out in November. And goes like this. It's called "Sure Could Use a Train." Always thought I'd stay here forever. I know all my neighbors from birth. Why would I roam? This is home. And I thought it was heaven on earth. And I thought she was my angel until she changed her mind. Now this view could use an ocean. This front porch could use some paint. And this old town could use a station. And I sure could use a train. How from one day to another can someone's heart just turn around? Overnight it seems all my dreams fell like confetti to the ground. Now my whole world's littered with the glitter of what might have been. And this view could use an ocean. This front porch could use some paint. And this old town could use a station. And I sure could use a train. Still the same old rusty silos, still our same old tasty freeze. There's nothing different about these cornfields, but man, if you ask me, this view could use an ocean. This whole place could use some paint. This old town could use a station. And I sure could use a train. I wish they'd never close that station, 'cause I sure could use a train.
Beautiful, Bill.
Thank you.
Yeah, that was great. So I guess I'll take the next one. I want to let you guys know that my backup singer just arrived. Her name is Marley, and she has four legs and whiskers. So during the pandemic and during its height, I would sing every Sunday night and for about 2 or 3 hours, and my dog Stax and my cat Marley would come sing, and you might be able to hear her. She's kind of making little noises down here, but she has learned that every time the microphones come out, we're going to sing. So she may join in. And I will tell you, her voice has become more popular than mine, because whenever I do, whenever I do anything on Facebook or social media now, everybody's like, "Where's Marley? Where's Marley?" But anyway, so that's what you hear. You might hear Marley singing. She has a lovely voice. This is a new song about the West. So Jan, you were singing about the West. So I just wrote this song, and I'm going to actually go into the studio and try to record something next week, this coming Wednesday, with this song. So we'll see what happens. But this is about the place where I live. It's called the Three Sisters. And the Three Sisters are volcanoes that are on the western skyline of Albuquerque. It's a very sacred place to the native peoples. Past the bosque on the western side, three sisters are watching the desert tonight. Near the mesa, the valley grows, the sand is rising over the river below. Flow, Rio, flow all the way from Colorado. Your waters cut deep, they're cold, they're sweet. Flow to the sea. Ancient horizon, the days fading like constellations are appearing. They pierce through the sky. Bear and hunter are the traveler's guides. He's scared and he's starving in the shadows where he hides. Flow, Rio, flow all the way to Mexico. Your waters cut deep, they're cold, they're sweet. Flow to the sea. And the story of the nomad, it's the story of us all. Always following the water, always following the stars. Flow, Rio, flow to the Gulf of Mexico. Your waters cut deep, there's secrets you keep. Flow to the sea. Past the bosque on the western side, three sisters are watching over the traveler tonight.
Beautiful, Annie.
Thank you. And you heard my backup singer too.
I did, and she was on the offbeat, which was really nice. It fit in perfectly.
She's not.
Congratulations, Marley.
Sorry, I was a little rusty on getting the pictures back up there, but now I'm finally figuring out what I was doing.
That's beautiful, and it does look like the three sisters. Yay.
I remember coming back from California and being west of Taos and suddenly coming upon that astonishing gorge that the Rio Grande has cut. It's just in the middle of nowhere. One minute you're on flat land and the next minute you're looking deeper than you thought you would look into New Mexico.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah. Beautiful though. Oh. Well, surprise, my guitar is still in the other tuning because I don't have a song about mountains, but I do have one about sisters. So this is part of a project that all these years later, it's still not finished because it went from being a CD to being a book, both of which are behind me, and I'll show them to you later. And now it's becoming a musical. So, I just broke every rule I've ever been taught. Tune your guitar after you put the capo on. Right. This is a Bible story that didn't get told. The whole album is like that. As far back as I remember, I was always Rachel's sister. Sometimes I think that started before she was even born. She was lively, she was clever, and everybody loved her. And when the men came looking, it was Rachel they looked for, not me. I was Rachel's sister. Jacob saw her fetching water, asked if she was Laban's daughter, and she ran home to let us know to make room for one more. I fell in love that night at dinner. He never saw her watching her, and when the meal was over, it was Rachel he asked for, not me. I was Rachel's sister. This is the story as it is written. Those were the lives we were living. Here is the truth, not the one that others told. It's the one that I know. I am Rachel's sister. They said Jacob was the trickster, but my father brought me forward on Rachel's wedding day, draped in veils upon his arm. But then Jacob worked the harder, and for Rachel too he bartered. Still, I thought I'd win him when each new son was born to me, Rachel's sister. But every night I'd hear her whisper, give me sons like you gave my sister, and prove that you love me, prove you love me more. So then one night he did it, and little Joseph was his favorite. But Rachel died in childbirth when her second son was born, leaving me, Rachel's sister. This is the story as it is written. Those were the lives we were living. It's the one that I know. I am Rachel's sister. Every now and then I wonder, is he still thinking of her? Though I'm the one that keeps him warm when the nights are cold. Did she love him as I love him? Or did she just love to win? But she is blessed memory, so I will never know. I am only Rachel's sister. This is the story as it is written. Those were the lives we were given. Here is the truth, not the one the old men told. It's the one that I know. I am Rachel's sister, and it can only be told by Rachel's sister. Thank you.
That's great. Well, I am going to take us from the biblical to the absurd with this next one. This is one that I believe is going to be on my next record, which is coming out on October 18th of this year, by hook or by crook, because I have a CD release concert booked at the Arc in Ann Arbor on that date, so I got a deadline. So anyway, this is like I said, this is going to the absurd. I didn't know what I was in for when I fell head over heels for her charms. Now that she's gone, may I make this request of whoever takes my place in her arms. Please cheat, please lie, please have two faces and a wandering eye. If you're the next to be dating my ex, please cheat, two-time and lie. I'm sure you're not that kind of person, and I'd never ask you to commit a sin. Still, the heavens would forgive you if you gave her a taste of her own medicine. Please cheat, please lie, please have two faces and a wandering eye. If you're the next to be dating my ex, please cheat, two-time and lie. I know I should just let it go. My better angels tell me so. Well, please cheat, please lie, please have two faces and a wandering eye. If you're the next to be dating my ex, please cheat, two-time and lie. Yeah, if you're the next to be dating my ex, please cheat, two-time and please lie. Tender little ballads, you know.
That's great. Oh my gosh. How do you follow that? I don't have any. songs like that. I'm gonna have to write one.
Do you have a cheating song?
I don't actually. I probably should
Good
write.
for you.
I don't know, it's something that never crossed my mind personally, but it did happen to me a number of times. But I have the heartache song, but since you said absurd, I'm gonna do an absurd song. Okay. This song is so absurd. Do y'all know who the Mudflap Girl is? She's the chick on the back of the 18-wheelers. Okay. This is a love song about her. Does that count as being absurd? Because I think it's pretty absurd. So I sent this song to Car Talk to the Click and Clack guys, and they actually played it, which was pretty funny. Um, but um, but this song actually has no socially redeeming value, other than it makes you giggle. So here we go. I got an air freshener hanging from the rear view mirror. It looks just like a Christmas tree. One hand on the wheel and the other on the good book. On the seat next to me. And the Virgin Mary, she's riding on the dashboard. She's Our Lady of the Highway. And the rig in front of me's got a bumper sticker proclaiming Jesus saves. Now I believe in eternal salvation, and I'm trying to work my way in. But I must confess this one little sin. Oh, mudflap girl, I got a mudflap girl. I want to take her with me around the world. On the highway of life, I won't need a wife. I got a mudflap girl. Now we may not ever travel across the ocean, but we'll cruise from sea to shining sea. And I doubt I'll ever take her to a movie or a restaurant, but I'll teach her all about geography. Sometimes I wish I could see her face and look into her eyes, but you can't always get everything when you're on the road to paradise. And at times I'm at a loss for words, but with a girl like her, that's okay. Man, she is just so beautiful, and I'm only after one thing anyway. Mudflap girl, that little mudflap girl, I want to take her with me around the world. On the highway of life, I won't need a wife. I got a mudflap girl. Now there are times out there on the highway when a trucker gets awful lonely, and a lot of strange things start going on inside your mind. Like that reflection from the wheels ahead, a beacon of light with a body so divine that it must be heaven sent. And she ain't wearing a dress. Oh my, breaker, breaker, 1-9. Mudflap girl, that little mudflap girl, I want to take her with me around the world. On the highway of life, I won't need a wife. I got a mudflap girl, oh yeah. I got a mudflap girl, 10-4, good buddy. I've got a mudflap girl.
Yes.
Good work, Rick, with the mudflap girls.
Yeah, that's great. Oh, you got him, Rick.
Yeah, that's them.
I do. In tandem,
I was
so to
playing,
speak.
I was playing at a bar one night, and all these Teamsters came in, and they were like so into that song they made me play it like 5 times. Sort of like when you're watching the Blues Brothers and they had to play "Stand by Your Man" so many times in Rawhide. But the Teamsters told me that she's not blonde; she is platinum. So just so you know, she's platinum.
I'm sure in their world that makes a tremendous difference. So absurd, okay? I had a few choices. This is the one I'm going to do. I hear you cheering for me out there. I know I'm elegant and rare, and I think I'm be showing admirable restraint. Yes, I am. Fancy Dan there, his name is Roy. He's treating me like I'm some kind of toy, and I'm being practically a saint. See how his partner struts and prances. That Siegfried thinks he's quite the dancer, and really, I'm the star of the show, which I know you know. Still, I guess I've got it good, 3 squares and a roof, so I guess I can put up with that fool and his stupid megaphone. But last night I dreamed of India, lying in the sun beside the sea. Life was harder than, yeah, harder than, life was harder than, but I was free. What's that fool Roy doing now? I think he's trying to get me to growl and give the folks a thrill for their applause. Just because. I think I'll give him a little slap. Just an easy teensy little love tap. Not enough to hurt, just to remind him who's boss. 'Cause last night I dreamed of India, lying in the sun beside the sea. Life was harder than, my life was harder than, it was harder than, but I was free. I didn't mean to hurt him, but he's such a little squirt. But when the crowd began to scream, well, it was totally worth it, because last night I dreamed of India, and I was lying in the sun beside the sea. Life was harder then, a little harder then. Life was harder then, but I was free. Thank you.
There's my boy, Roy.
There you go. He recovered, so it's not as mean as it sounds.
Well, it was just a little bite.
Well,
I think it was
I think
more-
I'm going to steer us in a different direction from the absurd. This is a little country love song that through some miracle found its way into a Brooke Shields movie a few years ago, and the movie is called The Hot Flashes. It's about a high school women's basketball team that many years later reunites for a charity game against the current high school basketball team, and you know, of course there's love stuff going on in the background. And anyway, so in the movie, Brooke Shields is going through some hard times in a relationship. So she lives in Texas. So Jan, I know you'll be able to validate that this is true. She did what you do in Texas when you're having love problems. You go out into your garage and you sit in the Barca lounger you keep in your garage, and you have a beer. And I'm sure that that's true. I've seen it in the movies. So
The beer part is.
yeah. Anyway, as she was sitting in the Barca lounger, this was playing behind her. If you only knew what true love love could give you, how high it could lift you, the thrill you would feel. Oh, if you only knew, you'd need no persuading. Love's waiting if you only knew. I don't know what keeps you from falling. I've fallen heart first and headlong, but still you keep shifting and stalling, as if you think you could go wrong. If you only knew what true love could give you, just how high it could lift you, the thrill you would feel. Oh, if you only knew, you'd need no persuading. Love's waiting if you only knew. I wish I could teach you that lesson. I wish I could break through somehow. If wishes are a fool's occupation, well, there are two fools in this room right now. If you only knew what true love could give you, how high it could lift you, or the thrill you would feel. If you only knew, you'd need no persuading. Love's waiting if you only knew. Who I'm waiting if you only knew. Thank you so much.
Wow, that's
Yeah.
a great song. Oh, that's just lovely. I was singing backup. You couldn't hear me. Probably just as well. Marley does a better job than I do, but that was beautiful. What a great
Thank you very much.
song.
Thank you.
Ah, fantastic. Well, that one made me think of this one. This is, I just had an album come out, a soft release. We haven't done a hard release yet because we're still dealing with, trying to figure out what's going on in the big wide world now that we've emerged from 2 years of whatever it was we've been dealing with the last 2 years. All of it. But anyway, I have a new album out. It's called Nightbird, and it's on Bandcamp. So you can go to Bandcamp and download it. Annie Benjamin Bandcamp. But and all my songs are there that I've recorded. But this is one of the songs that we did. And Andy, Jan's beloved, whom I love as well. I love Andy. Marley says she loves him too. Andy got to be there in the studio when we recorded it. So it was great. Anyway, here we go. Oh, sing me a song. I don't care how it starts. The words won't be wrong if it comes from your heart. This is where I belong. Sing me a song. When you say that you love me in the gentlest ways, I am beautiful and free, and the dark becomes a day. The sun's gonna shine above us, baby, when you say yes, you love me. And I'm walking on the moon. Oh, you take my breath away. You're the lifeline that I need, 'cause I'm floating out in space. And when I lay down beside you and you whisper my name, I no longer feel the wounds, and I know you feel the same. Everything's new when I lay down beside you. Do da da da, ba da da do, lo da dee ta ta ta, lo ba dee ba do dee. And I'm walking on the moon. Oh, you take my breath away. You're the lifeline that I need, and I'm floating out in space. Sing me a song, I don't care how it starts. The words won't be wrong, 'cause I know it's coming from your heart. This is where I belong. Sing me a song, this is where I belong. Sing me a song, this is where I belong. Sing me a song.
Oh, that's really
Nice, Annie. Both of those were beautiful. This is somewhere in between the two of them. I have love songs I've written for Andy, and maybe I'll get to do one of them later, but this is something else. Annie knows this one. Every now and then I dream of you again, from time to time. Why, I'll never know. It was so long ago you were mine. Like a river crossed, like a secret told, a glitter in the dust, a glow among the coals, a shiver of regret. Every now and then I dream of you again. Like a hurricane, you struck and changed everything I thought I knew. You were my earth and sky, you filled my day and night. I believed in you. Passionate and brief, our tempest of a song, melody so sweet, harmony so wrong. Such was our duet. But every now and then I hum that tune again. You ran away, you didn't even say goodbye. Were you afraid? You know, I used to pray your lie would come true. Somehow you'd love me too. But yes, and I found again a lover and a friend I could believe in. Ah, but autumn-colored hair, a pair of moody eyes, a tilted smile will make me look twice at someone I've never met. And every now and then, every now and then, yes, every now and then, I dream of you again. Thank you.
I love your manipulations of the guitar during that.
Oh, this was one of my guitar teachers taught me this. They won't do it anymore. Kaiser has stopped making the kind that will do this. So I had to get this one on eBay. But when I came back and showed him that song, he said, "That's not what I meant." Oh, well.
All right. Well, I'm going to do this next one is we have this Monday night, what we call Song Salon, and Jan has been there. In fact, I played this song when she was there, and originally it had a chorus that repeated 3 times, and she said, "I think the song's really nice. You should maybe just change the choruses." So I did. We'll see if Jan approves, but. What this is about is my wife says that I do this thing which she calls the hope method. When things are going sideways, and I am always the one to say, well, I think it's going to be okay, and she'll say, is that the hope method talking? And so this is called Holding Out Hope. My superpower in the darkest hour, in the face of an avalanche of cares. Annoyingly, you'll find I'll keep a tight grip on my mind when everybody else is losing theirs. When the deck is 3 feet underwater and you can't see land with a telescope, at the bottom of the sea, come find me. I'll still be holding out hope. It's just ingrained and probably insane, the belief that there's always a plan B. I can't give up. I see a half full cup, even when we're down to plan X, Y, or Z. When you feel gravity taking over at the top of a very slippery slope, and you don't know how to ski, if you're like me, you'll still be holding out hope. On the final day, as the light flickers out, the last words that I'll say will probably be, hey, what about when you're sitting handcuffed in the saddle, wearing a necklace of rope, under the gallows tree? If you're like me, you'll still be holding out hope. When we're totally star-crossed, all is never lost. I'll still be holding out hope.
Yes, perfect solution, Bill.
Yeah, that reminds me of one of those spaghetti westerns where that situation actually exists. Just as they're about to hang the guy, boom, a bullet goes right through the rope.
Yeah. Yeah, it could
That
happen.
can happen. Yeah.
By the way, Annie, Tony Barrett said to tell you, well, he commented on Facebook that he really loved that last song.
Oh, thanks, Tony. I appreciate it. I like it too because I like the guy I wrote it for.
Ah.
I kind of like him a lot. I kind of love him a lot.
Well,
Uh,
as long as I've interrupted, I have a burning question to ask each of you. Bill, where will you be next, and where can people find you online?
Well, let's see. I'm going to be playing at the Trinity House Theater on Sunday. That's in here in Ann Arbor. They do this thing called the Empty Chair Concert, and I'm going to be hosting that at the um, at the Trinity House in a week from today. And they can also find me at edwardssongs.com. EDWARDSONGS. So only one S in the middle. edwardssongs.com, and that leads to all things Bill. You can find anything you want to know about me there right there.
Great. And Annie, how about you? Where will you be next, and where are you online?
So I don't have a great number of gigs on my calendar at this point, but I am all over the place in Albuquerque right now, sitting in open mics trying to meet people. And it's great because, like, on Tuesday nights, I've been playing at a classic rock thing. And for those of you who don't know, I'm a flute player. And I play rock and roll flute like Jethro Tull.
Wow.
So it's a totally different thing than what you're hearing here. And it's really funny when you walk in because I'm really tiny. Jan and I are like our twin sisters in that regard. We're tiny girls. And then I come and I start playing the flute and they're like, "Where did you come from?" But I've been doing that a lot. But I do have a house concert scheduled in Santa Fe in April. And then if you're interested in my music, it's at Bandcamp. So I've just got a Bandcamp, Annie Benjamin. You can listen to all the songs a couple times before they'll make you buy them. So yeah, that's a good way to track me down, or you can find me on social media.
There you go. Okay, so what have you got for us?
Well, I think I'm going to go in a totally different direction because I have songs about hope, but I always close with my big song about hope, which is called Life's Blessings. Although I do have a beautiful little niece named Hope, and I would love to be holding on to her right now because she's really cute. She's like 2.5, and she's just a feisty fireball. She's adorable. But I'm going to do something completely different. Okay, so we'll have to hold on to hope, but clear your palate. Okay, so this is this is when Jan did her song about her dream that she had. This came out of a dream down in Texas. Texas is a really strange place apparently because we have strange dreams in Texas. But anyway, this is called The Muse. And it's okay if I'm slightly out of tune on this song because this tune is out of sorts. It goes in a strange place. Jan's smiling. Jan knows. Jan's like, yeah, this is a really strange one. Night is a lover dressed in gray. Her shadowy arms embrace her prey. She'll weave a web of deception by day. Oh, night is a lover dressed in gray. And love is a dancer dressed in red, balancing on a tightrope's thread. Miss a step and you're flirting with death. there's a dancer dressed in red. So woo the words the whiskey brings, seduce the song that the siren sings. Court your jesters, thieves and fools, with naked starlight and stolen jewels. Marley, are you going to give us a solo? That you've never had a cat solo on this show before. How about that? And the muse is a poet singing the blues. Her lipstick smear and too much rouge, dislocating notes with needles and blues. Yeah, the muse is a poet, and she's got the blues. So woo the words the whiskey brings, seduce the sun that the siren sings. Court your jesters, thieves and fools, with naked starlight and stolen jewels, with naked starlight and stolen jewels.
Wow.
Fade to black.
Really?
And Marley's cat solo was like fantastic.
Hey, Andy's even clapping over there. Look at that.
It was nice. She took the high parts for me today, so I didn't have to sing the high part.
Cats never get laryngitis that I've discovered.
Right, I know. How's that?
You haven't lived until you've had a cat and heat in your house.
No.
Not really. So, to answer my own question, now that it's solidified a little bit, the next show we'll be doing here, hold on, I'll have to look, otherwise I will not remember because I have a memory like a steel sieve. So, the next one is March 19th because I'll be in Coffeyville. I'll tell you about that in a minute. Before that, and then that's the week of South by, and so we don't do the live show because we get preempted every time we try. So the next one will be March 19th, and it will be David Haken and Jackie Kahn. David is from somewhere in Arkansas, I believe, and Jackie is from somewhere in the UK. And So that should be a very interesting show. And the thing about Coffeeville is every once in a while they put out a call for musicians, and you go to this tiny, tiny, tiny town in Kansas, and you play at the community college and at the high school down the road and at a bunch of retirement homes, and it's actually fun because you have to devise a show and present your show there. So I'm going to do that at the beginning of March, and I expect to be quite worn out by the time I come back because they do work you. So I have, and you can find me at janseides.com or Bandcamp. No, janseides.bandcamp.com, either one, both. And this is maybe not quite as weird to sing as Annie's, but it's weird enough because it was based on something I read in one of those science books that they write for the general public, which after you finish reading it, you feel like you know something, and the truth is you really don't know anything. But I got this out of it, so I was happy. In the fifth dimension, I can see right through you. I can hear you thinking. I can think back to you. I'll be all around you. I'll even be within you. Come to think about it, I might have even been you in the fifth dimension. In the fifth dimension, out where hyperspace is, we can hear the angels singing, look into their faces, but no one else can find us, so we'll go undetected. And if we should die, why, we'll be resurrected in the fifth dimension. Come swing through past and future like a pendulum. Leave your maps and clocks behind, it's a space-time continuum. The stars will be our companions, and the galaxies. We could be so free to the nth degree. And in the fifth dimension, Marley? Come swing through past and future like a pendulum. Leave those maps and clocks behind, you got space-time continuum. The stars will be our companions, and the galaxies. We could be so free to the nth degree. And in the fifth dimension, at the speed of light we'll fly, all the locks will open, all the knots untie. There'll be no confusion, we'll understand the meaning and escape the illusion like mystical Houdinis in the fifth dimension. Thank you.
That is great.
That's amazing. Like that sounds like it came out of hair.
Really?
I think so.
It came out of her hair.
Yeah. Under my hair.
But I
Just
mean,
under
it
her.
could, like, it could be part of that
Oh,
whole theatrical production, you know?
oh, I love it. Oh,
Oh
yes.
yeah,
I
totally.
was meant to write musicals. I was.
You
So I
were.
got to tell you something that happened while I was singing it. I have this pile of papers, um, song lyrics, but I'm just going through them to find what's going to be the next song, right? And they were in a pile on the keyboard here, and they all slid off while I was.
Well, you
They
got to
were
do the
fifth
top one
dimension.
now. Whatever landed on top. Well, I don't have a mysterious song like that. I do have a song about. This is about time. So maybe it follows. Oh, and I should mention, I I think I said that my next gig is at the Trinity House Theater in Ann Arbor. You can look all over Ann Arbor and you won't find the Trinity House Theater. The Trinity House Theater is in Livonia, Michigan, and I knew you were all planning on making the road trip, so I thought I would clear that up. Um,
I'm so happy you did.
oh yeah, it makes all the difference. Yeah. Um, okay, this is called. Well, I'll just play it. I thought I saw her on the street today as the cabbie set my suitcase on the curb. Why would she be in Manhattan anyway? And what would make me start to think of her? I almost called her name, but indecision overcame. There's no time like the present. It goes by so fast. There's no time like the present, but right now there's no time like the past. She had a laugh that could make you happy, even when she aimed it at you. I was full of myself and she was scrappy. My God, what we put each other through. She almost took my name, but indecision overcame. And there was no time like the present. There was no way it would last. There was no time like the present. And right now, there's no time like the past. So pour me one for old times, buddy, as night settles on your town. Then I'll go upstairs and call my wife and lay me down. Just lay me down. There's no time like the present. I've got all that anyone could ask. There's no time like the present, but sometimes there's no time like the past. I thought I saw her on the street today as the cabbie set my suitcase on the curb.
Wow. That was amazing.
Thank you.
How does one follow that?
Oh,
Gosh,
it's
that's
just sing one
beautiful.
of your beautiful songs.
With trepidation.
Yeah, with trepidation. Um, I'll try this one. We'll see how far we get with this. Hang on, let me check this real quick. Now the sun is out. It's not snowing anymore. The wind is blowing like crazy. I mean, we're talking like 50 or 60-mile-an-hour winds. I'm looking through the blinds. So, like, I apologize for my tuning, but Mother Nature is Mother Nature.
Yeah, so we're going to forgive you.
Yeah, it's just what it is. So, I apologize.
Well, while you're tuning, I'm going to tell everybody that I made a mistake. David Haken is from Kansas City,
Let him.
Missouri. And
He's great. He's a great writer.
that was told to me by Joanne Tinder, who is on the Facebook version of this show.
Hi, Joanne. Oh, David's awesome. We got to get to know him through Zoom concerts that we did over the last couple of years. His songwriting is amazing.
Yeah.
That'll be a treat. All right, I think I'm close, so we'll try now. Raindrops running down the dirty window pane. Whistle greyhounds going south. Blacktop roads and clouds all the way. There's too many broken fences and broken dreams to count. I can see my frosty breath against the glass. There's a Mexican woman next to me, singing to her baby and patting his back. I've been counting miles and memories all the way since Tennessee. And you used to sing me a lullaby when you rocked me in your arms. You sang of slumbers that are blessed in a voice low and warm. Now the mother next to me sings a sweet melody like your lullaby. I turn the ring on my finger round and round. It's the one you gave to me. It was a promise, an unending vow. But now it's broken and it doesn't mean a thing. You used to sing me a lullaby when you rocked me in your arms. And you sang of slumbers that are blessed in a voice low and warm. Now the mother next to me is singing a sweet melody like your lullaby. I am a broken child who can't fall asleep. I need a lullaby tonight. A simple song from a simple place where everything used to sing the lullaby when you rocked me in your arms. You sang of slumbers that are blessed in a voice low and warm. Now the mother next to me singing a sweet melody like your lullaby. Yeah, the mother next to me singing a sweet melody like your lullaby. It went out. Your lullaby. That was weird the way that did that.
Lovely.
Lovely song.
Oh wow. It is so little.
Thank you, David. So there was a line in the song you just sang that it triggered this. It was this concept that triggered this. You're no loser, you're not to be pitied. There's nothing you need that you don't have. No room for shame, nor even regret. You overcame and chose a new path. Your task was hard, mission impossible, only one unwalkable road. Tears in the rain, suitcase in hand. But just like Pandora, you still had hope. Tempered glass behind every victory. Look for a story where there was no choice. Tempered glass, you stood in that flame, and then it passed, and your tempered glass. You're not shattered, you're not even cracked, 'cause you're not fragile, no, you are strong. You're not half empty, just not yet full. But I know you will be before very long. Tempered glass behind every victory. There is a story where there was no choice. Tempered glass, you stood in that flame, and then it passed, and your transparent, but not obscure. No secrets here, just a little bit clearer and purified. Tempered glass behind every victory. You'll find a story where there was no choice. Tempered glass, you stood in that flame, and now it's past, and you're tempered glass.
Oh man, that's beautiful.
Thank you.
Nice.
Oh, and thank you, Rick. Look at that, an illustration.
He's got a million of them.
Yeah, well, as soon as I find out what the song is about, and
Yeah.
sometimes I miss. I go out there and go, boop.
Yeah. Well, let's see. I'm going to do this one here, just so that we don't get too emotional. Um, this is a song that found its way onto the TV show True Blood a few years back. Would have to be a few years back because that's not on the air anymore. But anyway,
It is if you've got decades.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I still get little checks every now and then. And this goes out to any male in the audience who is in a committed relationship. So it goes like this. I strolled into the kitchen after mowing the yard. She was chopping up carrots just a little too hard. I put my arm around her, she said, wash your hands, directed her attention to the frying pan. Right then I started thinking I was sinking into no man's land. What'd I do? What'd I do? I was rooting through my memory, counting my crimes. No major misdemeanors made their way to my mind. Wide-eyed and innocent, wishing I could catch a clue. What'd I do? I said, I sense a little tension, dear. Are you upset? Well, she shot me that smile and I broke a cold sweat. I said, maybe I said something you misunderstood. What's that you're cooking there? It sure smells good. If you tell me how I blew it, I'd undo it, baby, if I could. What'd I do? What'd I do? Like a dog on ice, like butter on a griddle, I was slipping and sliding, trying to solve the riddle. Wide-eyed and innocent, wishing I could catch a clue. What'd I do? I could have whined and pleaded, I could have walked away, I could have overheated and said something I'd end up regretting today. So what'd I do? Well, what could I do? I just looked her in the eye and I curled my lip, sang love me tender with a quivering hip, dropped to one knee and after a while I caught a smile. So next time this happens to you, that's what I do. That's what I do. That's what I do. Yeah, that's what I do.
Oh, that was terrific. I'm trying to imagine that in the atmosphere of Blue Bloods.
Yeah. Oh, True Blood.
Oh. Oh. Okay.
And that's really different from Blue Bloods.
Yeah. Totally revised the image.
I gotta sing it again.
That was great.
Thank you.
I was gonna sneer my lip when you said that too. I was gonna go.
Yeah, there you go.
I usually do that when I sing. There's one song, I don't remember which one it is, but I do that on one of my songs. And Ken Gaines, our dear friend, songwriter Ken Gaines, Ken always looks at me, he's like, you're sneering your lip, you're sneering your lip. I think it's on the Muse. I think I usually do it. I didn't do it tonight. But all right, so I'm gonna do you mentioned Elvis and I love old 50s music. And I draw a lot of inspiration from 1950s music. This song was inspired by the Big Bopper himself, and all those, those great rock and roll sounds that were coming out of South Texas in the late 50s with a little bit of the Tejano edge to them. So that's where this song came from. So I want you to imagine like there's Latin percussion on this. Right? We dance a little closer. I know what you want to say, and I've already got an answer. Love is just a whisper away. Oh, love is just a whisper away. I made a wish on the biggest star in the sky. It started shooting fireworks. Now I see them in your eyes. Come on, dance a little closer. I know what you want to say, and I've already got an answer. Love is just a whisper away. Oh, love is just a whisper away. Baby, turn the volume on the stereo up high. I wanna groove together in the living room tonight. Come on, dance a little closer. I know what you wanna say, and I've already got a little answer. Love is just a whisper away. Oh, love is just a whisper away. You've got that look in those dark brown eyes, and I know that it's my sweet loving that you've got on your mind. The music's getting louder and our hearts are thumping in time. So come whisper in my ear and say you are mine. Baile, baile. Conmigo. Te amo mucho. We dance a little closer. I know what you want to say, and I've already got a little answer. Love is just a whisper away. Oh, love is just a whisper. Love is just a whisper. Love is just a whisper away.
Are you getting a chance to practice your Spanish in New Mexico?
Sí, sí, sí. Todos los días. Mm-hmm.
Annie was the one who turned me on to Duolingo. And my Spanish has improved enough that I'm still not brave enough to speak it to anyone. But I could read the sign on the inside of the
Oh,
lavatory
wow.
door in the airplane. I could read it in Spanish and know what it said, and I was so proud.
Agua y
Oh no, the one that
año.
says don't disable the smoke alarm or that
Yeah,
one.
that's
Yeah.
great.
Yeah. Complicated language. I can't remember conjugations to save my life, but I can read signs on airplane doors.
Well, yeah, exactly. You know, and you could go up to a taco stand and you could say, "Me gusta una taco or un taco, por favor." You could say that.
I could. I probably am not brave enough for that yet. um, well, if we're going to mention icons, I have this. It's the only one like it I have. My daughter came out while I was writing it and she said, "What is that?" And I said, "I don't know." Where are all the Gretas and Marlenas? And all the Mae Wests, where are they? No one tells the boys, come up and see me sometime. That's all out of style nowadays. But I still long for old-time steamy romance in satin gowns and stockings with seams, and men that wear trench coats and fedora hats. I wish they'd bring that all back, 'cause I wanna be a femme fatale. I wanna be a vamp. I wanna whistle like Bacall and have 'em all eating from my hand. They'd put me on a pedestal, competing for my glance. I wanna be a femme fatale. I wanna be a vamp. Though I am a liberated woman, sometimes I'd prefer to be a tease. And when I see those starlets with eyes come hither soft, I could pull that off, it seems to me. See? And men would buy me clothes and bring me jewelry and open doors and pull me out a seat, and then stand by politely until I'd sit, enjoy my sparkling wit, a little risque repartee with a femme fatale. I wanna be a vamp. I wanna be the party doll that upsets all their other plans. I know it isn't fashionable, but it's so elegant. I wanna be a femme fatale. I wanna be a vamp. Dietrich and Davis, they had it made. Mansfield and Monroe, hey, where'd they all go? Well, the women we admire now in the movies are all doctors and lawyers and chiefs. They don't flutter their lashes or swing their hips. They don't pout their lips or sit on anyone's knee. And if they're in some older profession, they've all been reformed by Act 3. They've given up their cigarettes and champagne. I guess we've come a long way, but I sure miss the day of the femme fatale. I wanna be a vamp. I wanna be the... I wanna give the boys the eye and call some guy my honey lamb. I'd have 'em all in a spell. I'd have 'em in a trance. I wanna be a femme fatale. I wanna be a vamp.
Yeah.
I think you could pull this off.
I could.
I've seen you do it.
Oh, wow.
There may be a hidden meaning in that statement.
That was great, Dan. Oh my gosh, I love that song so much, and it's so funny. And it's great. But you know who I think would be an awesome spoke celebrity to sing that song?
Who?
Miss Piggy. I think she could.
Oh, I love that.
I think she would.
I love that.
I could just see Miss Piggy singing it like the way it needs to be sung, and I mean that in a totally loving, amazing way. My grandmother had a Miss Piggy statue in her house, so
My daughter has actually gotten to meet her.
no way.
Yes. Yes. Well, you know what she does. For those who don't, my daughter is the head of public relations for HBO. And, if they're pushing a show, she gets to go be with them and do stuff. And I have a picture of her sitting on those front steps that you see on Sesame Street with Miss Piggy and Kermit. Yeah, I know. I'm so
That's
jealous.
royalty right there. That's great.
That's right.
Yeah. It's the truth. It is royalty.
Well, speaking of the truth, this next song is a true story. It's set in a...
I should mention, if you don't mind, I'm sorry to interrupt, but this is our last round.
Yeah, that makes sense. Okay. So this is... I should give you some background on this. There was a time in this country, and I don't know if it's still true or not, but hobos or traveling people had a series of images and just a code that they would use to communicate among themselves. Like they'd put something on a fence or on a barn, or in this case on a tree, that would say, you can get a meal at this house, you can get a day's work, they'll let you sleep in the barn, they got a mean dog, that kind of thing. So if you Google hobo code, you would find all kinds of examples of this. But that's what this is about. This is a true story. Happened in my youth, and it's really about my mother. So it goes like this. And thank you, Jan, so much for having me here, and thank you to everybody else who is dialing in through the various means on Zoom and on YouTube and all the rest of it. So much appreciated. Small town smack dab in the heart of Illinois. Kennedy in the White House. I was just a boy doing the supper dishes. Drying was my chore when somebody came knocking on our back screen door. He was a traveling man down on his luck, looking for a meal. Mama asked him to come on in like it was no big deal. She said people seem to find our house. How, I don't know. And he said, it's that mark on the tree out front, it's a hobo code. And he said, I can paint that over easily if you'd rather not be bothered by folks like me. And she said, leave it there. Mama said, leave it there. She said, God has blessed us with enough to share. Thank you for letting me know. We'll leave it there. Next morning, like a shot, I was out there at that tree. Sure enough, there's the mark. Easy to see. The kid next door, and I stood gawking on the lawn. He said, when my dad sees those guys, he tells them to move on. He said, we can paint that over you and me, so you wouldn't have to worry about those tramps and thieves. And I said, leave it there. We're gonna leave it there. I said, we got so much food we can't afford to share, and we're not afraid to let it show. We'll leave it there. And now those elm trees are gone, and Mama's passed on. I never told her, but I bet she knew it wasn't just that tree, it was a young heart too. When she said, leave it there. When Mama said, leave it there. She left a mark that we're meant to share. And I hope with my little song I'll leave it there. I hope I can pass it on and leave it there.
What a wonderful song, Bill.
Great,
Really touched my
man.
heart.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Wow.
Oh, that was great. Mm. Mm-mm-mm. That's just beautiful. I actually have a song to follow that one too. Um, so during the time period when so many people who were hobos and transient people were moving around, not now because we've got a lot of it going on in our country now too, but back in the 20s and 30s, there was a beautiful movement of African American songwriters in Harlem known as the Harlem Renaissance. And one of my and this is actually appropriate because it's Black History Month too. So, um, but one of my very favorite poets wrote a beautiful poem called I Too Am America. And I encourage you to go look up the poem I Too Am America, because this song is based on Langston Hughes' poem. And Langston Hughes is an amazing American poet who was also, he fed off the music that was happening, the jazz and the blues and all of the exciting things that were happening in New York City at the time. But he wrote this amazing poem about being the darker brother who has to eat in the kitchen when company comes. And though he eats, well, and he grows strong, he's still in the kitchen. So this is what this song came from. When he die and leave my body to this earth, some may cry or tell jokes at my expense for what it's worth. I just hope you don't wear black, 'cause my favorite color's green. Take the flowers home with you and put them up there on your supper table for everyone to see. 'Cause I'm going to a kitchen in the sky, past the black-eyed peas and apple pie. There's narrow mouth, it's empty. In heaven there's plenty of food to be found, and lots of love to go around. Now I like to think that heaven's just a great big table, and there's always room for one more chair. No one's gotta fight for the best seat, 'cause the Almighty's everywhere. Oh, I'm going to a kitchen in the sky, past the black-eyed peas and apple pie. There's narrow mouth, it's empty. In heaven there's plenty of food to be found, and lots of love to go around. Now in heaven, everybody's got something important to say. An old woman sigh, a child's simple words. Everybody's voice is equal. Everybody's heard. Oh, I'm going to a kitchen in the sky, past the black-eyed peas and apple pie. There's narrow mouth, it's empty. In heaven there's plenty of food to be found, and lots of love to go around. And if it's not your stomach that you need to feed, just sit down at heaven's table. You'll find what you need. Oh, yeah, yeah. So when I die, another soul is gonna take my seat. Please make sure there's a place set at your table with a lot of good things to eat. 'Cause I'm going to a kitchen in the sky, past the black-eyed peas and apple pie. There's narrow mouth, it's empty. In heaven there's plenty of food to be found, and there's lots of love to go around and around. Oh, there's lots of love to be found. You know there is, and there's this great big table up there just waiting for you and me. And you know what? Nobody has to do the dishes.
That's wonderful.
and nobody has to clean the oven.
Yeah, amen.
Really. If you're baking pies like that, yeah, that's an issue.
Yeah, that one right there, man. Yeah.
Yeah. How many times on Zoom have you found yourself pointing at the screen to show somebody something?
Oh, every time.
Yeah. That, and I have a class that we regularly share our screens, and I keep trying to scroll somebody else's screen. It's
At
pretty
least
funny.
I haven't used whiteout on it yet.
No, you have to be blonde for that, so I heard.
You have to be an Aggie.
There is part of your song that reminds me a lot of a joke I heard a long time ago about somebody being escorted to hell, and he sees people sitting around a table with really long spoons and a pot in the middle far away, and they have to somehow scoop the food out of the pot and get it to themselves, but they can't because the handle of the spoon is so long. And then he gets to tour heaven, and he steps out of the elevator to the same scene. And he says, well, this looks just like hell. And his escort says, yes, but here in heaven we feed each other. Yeah. So I'm looking out the window right now because I happen to have one in front of me. And the sky is gray, and it looks like it's about 50 degrees out there, and I'm planning on taking a walk after the show is over. So I looked up on my phone to see what the temperature really was, and it's 80. And Houston, we got a problem. You know, it's 80 degrees in February. So this is one of the songs I wrote about climate change. Magnetic fields fight their way across the skies and show us brilliant colors we call the northern lights. And we are all reminded the beauty we have here, how fortunate we are to have protective atmosphere. And the home we share, the northern lights remind us, has water and air. The northern lights remind us that there's no guarantee, there's no guarantee. The northern lights remind us, the northern lights remind us. Celestial looms weave the darkness into lights that dance above the planet to dazzle human eyes. And we are all reminded of vast eternity, how fortunate we are, however briefly, just to be. And the home we share, the northern lights remind us, has water and air. The northern lights remind us that there's no guarantee, there's no guarantee. The northern lights remind us, the northern lights remind us. It's a beautiful and deadly universe, and everything that we hold dear depends on our next choice. For though we send our rockets up to land on planet Mars, or lie back on the hillside to admire the stars, the northern lights remind us with their shimmering towers how fortunate we are to have this earth of ours. And the home we share, the northern lights remind us, has water and air. The northern lights remind us that there's no guarantee, there's no guarantee. The would like to thank Bill Edwards for coming to us all the way from Ann Arbor, Michigan, where I know it's colder than 79 degrees.
Oh, wow.
And also thank you to Annie Benjamin for coming all the way from Albuquerque. I came all the way from my living room. And anybody who would like to know what's going on with these shows, please put your name on my mailing list, and then I can let you know all about that and who to expect and why you should be here. Just put your name and your email in the chat, and I'll be glad to keep in touch with you. And I promise no spam ever, because I hate that stuff and I wouldn't want to inflict it on anyone else. And I'm going to stop the stream now. Thank you to everybody on Facebook and on YouTube. Thank you for being here. I hope you enjoyed it. I know we did. So, good night. Oh, that isn't what I meant to do.